According to the question, what assumption was proved wrong by the results of the study? Now, if you read the section together, what Giussani found was that the high-altitude babies showed a pronounced reduction in birth weight compared with low-altitude babies, even in cases of high maternal nutritional status. Babies born to low-income mothers at sea level also showed a reduction in birth weight, but the effect of undernutrition was not as pronounced as the effect of high altitude on birth weight. Clearly, fetal oxygenation was a more important determinant of fetal growth within these communities. Remarkably, although one might assume that babies born to mothers of low socioeconomic status at high altitude would show the greatest reduction in birth weight, these babies were actually heavier than babies born to high-income mothers at high altitude. It turns out that the difference lies in ancestry. From this, you could have understood that what Giussani found was that the high-altitude babies showed a pronounced reduction in birth weight compared with low-altitude babies. However, although one might assume that babies born to mothers of low socioeconomic status at high altitude would show the greatest reduction in birth weight, these babies were actually heavier than babies born to high-income mothers at high altitude. Therefore, option A is the correct answer.
Let's look at the next question.
According to the question, what is suggested about the inhabitants of La Paz? Now, if you read the highlighted section, the lower socioeconomic groups of La Paz are almost entirely made up of Aymara Indians, an ancient ethnic group with a history in the Bolivian highlands spanning a couple of millennia. On the other hand, individuals of higher socioeconomic status represent a largely European and North American admixture, relative newcomers to high altitude. It seems therefore that an ancestry linked to prolonged high-altitude residence confers protection against reduced atmospheric oxygen. This implies that poorer residents have a genetic advantage over those with higher incomes. Therefore, option D is the correct answer.
Let's look at the next question.
According to the question, what is purpose of the information in the sixth paragraph? To get this answer correct, you need to understand the meaning of the phrase, "it seems therefore." The phrase, "it seems therefore," is an introductory phrase that implies that the statement that follows is a logical conclusion or inference drawn from previous information or evidence. The word, therefore, suggests that the statement to follow is a result or conclusion that can be drawn from what has been stated earlier. In other words, "it seems therefore" is used to introduce an idea or conclusion that is likely to be true based on the evidence or information available. Therefore, option C is the correct answer.
Let's look at the next question.
According to the question, what advantage of the research involving hen eggs is mentioned? Now, if you read the section, the advantage of using hen eggs in the research mentioned in the paragraph is that they provide a model system for studying the effects of high altitude on fetal growth and cardiovascular development. The researchers were able to replicate the findings observed in Andean pregnancies in hen eggs and demonstrate the link between growth restriction at high altitude and cardiovascular defects. The use of hen eggs allows for a more efficient and fast way to study these effects, as opposed to studying generations of migration in human populations. Therefore, this implies that the use of hen eggs have the advantage of its speed. The correct answer is D. What fact does the case of Lucy Smith highlights about food allergies? Now, if you read the paragraph, you can read that Lucy Smith was strolling through Canberra last July. Within moments she couldn't stand, gripped by pain so severe she feared she would pass out, the first sign of paralyzing diarrhea. This dramatic episode turned out to be caused by a newly acquired food allergy. Now, if you read further, you can also read that the writer comments that most don't hit with the same force as Lucy's, but the physical and mental impact can nonetheless turn a person's life upside down, and may even be life-threatening. Now, this means that he is indicating that food allergies can be debilitating. Therefore, option C is the correct answer. Now, if we try eliminating the other options. Option A says that it is difficult to diagnose in certain people. There is no mention in the paragraph that food allergies are difficult to diagnose. The option B says that it is relatively rare in adult people. The other option says that food allergies often require urgent treatment. However, there is no mention about the treatment of food allergies.
Let's look at the next question.
According to the question, what point is made about food intolerances? Now let us read the highlighted section together. An allergy, according to immunologists, is the immune system overreacting to a substance that would ordinarily be considered benign. However, the term allergy is used more loosely by the general public. People say they are allergic to a substance because it brings about some kind of adverse reaction in their bodies, some of which can be severe and may resemble true allergic reactions, but unless the immune system itself is directly involved, experts categorize it as intolerance. Constant sneezing, itchy eyes or throat and inner ears, asthma, rashes, and diarrhea can all be signs of food allergies. Intolerance can bring on similar warning signs as well as things such as headaches, bloating, and general lethargy. By reading this section, you should have understood that the paragraph talks about the similarities that allergy and intolerances have. This also indicates that because they have similarities, it could be mistaken. Therefore, option D is the correct answer.
Let's look at the next question.
According to the question, what is the phrase, via a different biological mechanism, used to explain? Now, if you read the section. To diagnose a food allergy, immunologists use a skin prick test, in which a drop of a commercially extracted allergen is placed on the skin and the first couple of skin layers are pricked with a lancet. If a person is allergic, the immune system is stimulated sufficiently to produce a mosquito bite-like bump within 15 minutes. This testing method is, however, somewhat unreliable in detecting intolerances, because, while not fully understood, they operate via a different biological mechanism possibly involving chemicals in food irritating nerve endings in the body. By reading this section, you should have understood that the phrase is used to explain why the skin prick test may not accurately diagnose food intolerance as it operates via a different biological mechanism which involves chemicals. Therefore, option C is the correct answer.
Let's look at the next question.
According to the question, why is the image of a fireworks factory used? Now, let us read the highlighted section together. The mechanisms that provoke an allergy remain a gray area. Souter says, it's like throwing a match into a fireworks factory. Hit the right place and you set off a chain reaction. Miss it and the match just fizzles out. That difference between lighting up or fizzling out isn't well understood. By reading this section, you should have understood that the image about fireworks factory is used to indicate that the mechanisms that provoke an allergy is not clear, and if it hits the correct place, allergy could flare up. It also indicates that the when it will flare up or not is also not understood well. Therefore, option A is the correct answer.